Mr. Chair, thank you to our witnesses for appearing, and we appreciate the difficulty that families are facing, the workers that you represent, and the difficulties that the challenges that still lay ahead in terms of securing the best outcome for workers. I was a CAW Local 444 worker at Chrysler for a little over 6 years. I remember when the Paulette Road Truck Assembly Plant closed. I was a junior employee with no seniority, trying to raise a family, and I can appreciate that those are difficult moments. I want to, moving to the testimony here today in your written statement, maybe this is just a peculiar thing. I don't know whether it was intentional or not, and you can clarify that for me. But I notice in your statement you've blamed the government and Air Canada, but Avios is not mentioned anywhere in terms of blame, in terms of how it's operated as a company or anything like that. There's no responsibility attributed to Avios. Are any of you up there implying somehow that Avios is a victim? Who would like to answer that? I see heads bobbing. No.
We definitely don't think that Avios is a victim, and it may just have been an oversight. I don't know. But
okay, fair enough. Because Avios had choices. They could have diversified their clientele base further to secure their future. They could have, in this difficult case where they decide to wind up operations, they could have chosen restructuring over bankruptcy. For example, it chose the latter. On the idea of restructuring, did Avios inform you, the union, of Air Canada's offer of $15 million toward restructuring the operations? Were you informed of that?
Not until after the shutdown.
Okay, fair enough. Avios as a company, were they profitable, and if so, in what years were they profitable as a company? Okay. Because Mr. Didushak, in your testimony, in talking about quarterly meetings with Air Canada and Avios, you mentioned that in the last year that there's been a declining amount of work, and almost left the impression that somehow one bad year is what made for bankruptcy at Avios. That's not the case. In fact, they were. No, I didn't say you were. It left the impression, is what I said. I just wanted to clarify that, in fact, they were having a bad run all the way along.
Avios as a business, from what we've seen, was a money-spending business, not a money-generating business.
Did Avios approach you in the union with respect to renegotiating labor contracts, reopening them up, looking at labor lowering labor costs?
We were in the middle of bargaining.
Did Avios approach you at any point regarding ideas about diversifying its client base? My understanding is that 90%, or at least it's been reported, I think, in the Montreal Gazette, that 90% of Avios' maintenance came from Air Canada. That's a pretty risky business plan, if you ask me.
Myself, Chuck and my colleagues had scheduled several meetings with Mr. Kolchak and his group. And strangely enough, prior to those meetings, they were always cancelled. So we never had the ability to speak with Mr. Kolchak when he was in charge.
Nous n'avons jamais eu la chance de lui parler à M. Kolchak au sujet de quoi que ce soit. Pourtant, nous avions des préoccupations à cet égard.
I'm going to presume you had some ideas about how they could diversify their client base as well.
Quant à la possibilité de diversification, oui.
Mr. Poirier, you did mention, and I want to come back to the idea of your statement that said that you were seeking assistance in saving Avios, and I understand that you've backed away from that statement, Mr. Atkinson, but I'm hearing some mixed messages. And Mr. Poirier, you sort of suggested that if Air Canada gets a partner and guarantees contracts, that maybe we can get these workers back to work. That was the Avios situation, right? They had long-term contracts guaranteed to have workers in Winnipeg, Mississauga, and Montreal. What's to suggest that it could be different with a different partner? Would a new partner have a more diversified clientele base? What are you suggesting would be different than the model? That that's what Avios had.
Je vais vous donner quelques exemples. Okay? Quand on dit
I'll give you a few examples.
Avios avait un contrat
when we say that
garanti avec Air
Avios
Canada
had a guaranteed contract with Air Canada for all maintenance,
jusqu'à un certain point,
to some extent, yes.
À un autre point, non.
But
si on regarde
in some ways, no. As I said earlier, the entire fleet of 777 motors, Avios did not invest in doing that. When I'm talking to you about the future is Embraer's more than 60 planes, 2 motors. Avios never wanted to invest in that. When you're a partner, a business partner, and you want to do some work, and you're refusing to do the work, listen, there are some planes that were sent elsewhere. We are able, we have the expertise, we're the best in the world, and that's just not happening.
Just to clarify, I didn't suggest that Avios had all of Air Canada's maintenance. I'm suggesting that 90% of the maintenance that Avios did came from Air Canada, which is quantitatively different.
Well, these are figures. I mean, do we have evidence of that 90% of maintenance was for Air Canada? We know that as far as the planes and the hangars are concerned,
how much of Avios' maintenance came from other companies?
National Defense. Just give me an opportunity to answer your question. We did Air Transat planes. At the motor center, we have a lot of contracts from other companies. 95%. Where do you? I don't. Are these tangible figures? I don't believe it.
Just said it's reported, that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to go over some of what we've been told so far. First, the government will not let us question Avios, so we can't ask these questions, and we're trying to indirectly get about how Avios managed to collapse through you. The government also won't let some of you talk when it comes to monetary issues. The investors that bought the equipment. The equipment still exists, so the government is suggesting Avios burned through $1 billion of money, and that's actually not true. The equipment still exists. Nobody burned through anything. They paid their employees a bunch of money over the course of however long they were there. And those investors are probably going to be first in line to get their money back. Ahead of the employees. Certainly the employees have nothing at the moment. The minister got a legal opinion that runs contrary to everything this government has said. Both liberal and conservative governments over the past, since 1998, have all said it can't happen. What just happened can't happen. It won't happen. And now the minister says it happened. Oops isn't good enough, I don't think, for you folks, or for the 2,600 people you represent. Oops is not acceptable to us, shouldn't be acceptable to the government, and the answer clearly appears to be that Air Canada has done everything it can to shed itself of expensive labor. That's really what seems to be going on to us on this side. That Air Canada's statement to us during the hearing on Thursday was that they signed a deal that was favorable to Avios. So if it's favorable to Avios, it's not favorable to Air Canada. If it's not favorable to Air Canada, I'd want to get out of that deal as quickly as I could. So it makes sense that Air Canada would stop sending planes to Avios in order to starve them. That appears to be what went on, but we'll never know because the government won't let us question Avios.
On ne le saura jamais parce que le gouvernement nous empêche d'interroger Avios.
Everybody here seems to be grasping at straws to say, what can we find another investor? Can we find another player to try and take over this equipment? The equipment is sitting there. Air Canada is not using it. Avios isn't using it. The government is sitting on its hands saying, gee, it's not our problem. It's a private issue between two private players, and the law has no teeth, has no meaning as far as the government is concerned, despite statements over many years saying, this will never happen. Don't worry, it'll never happen. So, what should have happened when the government first became aware that Avios was running into trouble with Air Canada, and they assured us, don't worry, nothing will happen. What should this government have done to ensure that Air Canada lived up to the spirit of the law, which was that this work would stay in Canada, in Winnipeg, Toronto, or Mississauga, and Montreal?
I'll speak to this a little bit and a few
Je vais répondre à cela.
Back to one of the original comments that was made by the member over here in his first questions.
Le député, dans sa première question, a demandé pourquoi AVIOS n'est pas mentionné dans la loi. Et je pense que ces questions prouvent exactement la raison pour laquelle AVIOS a été créé. C'est devenu une sorte d'écran de fumée. C'est comme vous le dites, c'était pour permettre à Air Canada de se débarrasser d'un coût énorme pour cette main-d'œuvre. On a dit qu'ils aimeraient conserver le travail au Canada, mais ils ont ajouté qu'il fallait que ce soit un taux mondialement compétitif. En Amérique centrale, les spécialistes sont payés $500 par mois, donc ça revient à $3 l'heure pour quelqu'un au Canada. Alors j'espère que ce n'est pas la suggestion qu'Air Canada dit que c'est ce tarif-là qu'il faudrait pour garder les emplois au Canada. Nous voyons AVIOS comme une entreprise clé en main. Vous l'avez dit, les installations sont là, les travailleurs sont là. Il suffit que quelqu'un ouvre la porte et allume la lumière. C'est prêt à partir en 72 heures. Littéralement, 72 heures, on peut reprendre les activités. Donc, ce que nous faisons essentiellement, ce que nous demandons au gouvernement, eh bien, nous sommes venus ici pour chercher un leadership de la part du gouvernement dans un dossier, parce que c'est l'entité au Canada qui a la seule responsabilité, qui peut faire débloquer les choses. Air Canada est un transporteur aérien de réglementation fédérale, c'est la ligne aérienne nationale, c'était une société d'État, elle a été privatisée, et dans la loi qui l'a privatisée, il y avait un esprit, une intention qui voulait en faire une ligne aérienne qui travaillait pour le Canada et qui embauchait des Canadiens. C'est pourquoi nous sommes ici. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I want to thank all of the witnesses for being here.
Je remercie tous les témoins pour leur présence. Je sais que ce n'est pas facile pour vous ni pour vos membres.
You know, I just want you to know that I'm sure I can speak on behalf of all members when we can say that.
Je tiens à dire qu'au nom de tous les députés, je pense pouvoir dire que toute perte d'emploi est une de trop au Canada. Et c'est pourquoi le gouvernement a mis en place un plan pour créer des emplois et de la croissance économique et la prospérité à long terme. Alors, je tiens à ce que vous sachiez. Enfin, je tenais à le dire. Vous avez dit dans votre allocution
You have been in touch with other levels of government.
Vous avez été en contact avec d'autres niveaux de gouvernement dans vos efforts pour essayer d'en arriver à un règlement équitable pour toutes les parties intéressées. Or, dans vos discussions avec les paliers municipaux et provinciaux, quel genre de discussions ont eu lieu? Et qu'est-ce qu'ils vous ont proposé, le cas échéant? Si vous voulez que je réponde, je suis allé à Victoria mardi avec une délégation de 57 de nos membres et nous avons rencontré les gens du gouvernement libéral colombie-britannique et l'opposition officielle. Et le message que nous avions à leur donner, c'était que c'est un dossier important pour la Colombie-Britannique et pour le Canada. Et il fallait que ça se fasse de manière non partisane. Nous ne voulions pas aller à Victoria pour faire de la politique entre le NPD et les libéraux. Tous les partis doivent se mettre au-dessus des lignes partisanes. Nous devons rassembler les intervenants et travailler à l'élaboration d'une solution. Nous avons demandé au gouvernement de prendre position. Nous pensons que c'est important en Colombie-Britannique parce que Vancouver n'est pas mentionné explicitement dans la loi sur la participation capitale d'Air Canada. Au moment de la privatisation d'Air Canada, Vancouver était la principale base pour les compagnies aériennes canadiennes. Excusez-moi, y a-t-il une proposition concrète qui a été faite? Non, nous n'avons pas eu de proposition concrète. Nous leur avons demandé de venir à Ottawa, de travailler avec nous, avec le gouvernement fédéral, pour trouver une solution nationale. Et l'engagement que nous avons eu des députés à Victoria, c'était qu'ils étaient prêts à le faire. Est-ce que le syndicat a envisagé d'acheter la compagnie ou d'acheter une participation? Nous ne l'avons pas fait spécifiquement. Le gouvernement de Colombie-Britannique nous a posé la question. Nous ne sommes pas allés aussi loin, mais nous n'excluons pas a priori une solution en particulier. Nous disons qu'il faut qu'il y ait une solution. Je refuse de croire qu'il n'y a pas de solution, que les gens au Canada ne peuvent pas se rassembler pour faire en sorte que ça marche. Donc, je n'exclus rien au départ. Il faudra examiner chaque proposition dans son contexte.